Hi folks, this is the fourth lesson in my Scrabble strategy tutorials. The last lesson on tile valuation was pretty technical, so I'm going to tone it down in this one just so I don't scare anyone off. Today I'm going to be focusing on word study, in both what to study and how to study. We'll primarily be looking at lists of words that are the best to study at any given level that will give you the most reward for your studying time. For most of us, when we started playing, we all had our undeniable quaffs with family members as to what kind of word was acceptable. Can you define it? Is it in the dictionary? What dictionary? I'm a pharmacist. Why can't I play Quercus? Look, it's right here in my medical textbook. Steve Fatsis, who wrote Word Freak, a book that I mentioned earlier, actually has quite a few anecdotes related to this, but this is why, as Scrabble players, we have one centralized dictionary so we never have to argue about words and dictionaries again, unless you're my uncle. When I say one dictionary, I really mean two. First of all, we have the OWL, or the official Tournament and Club Word List, as well as the Salpods or Collins Dictionary, which is much larger, as well as OSPD, and a lot of the other derivatives where offensive language has been removed and things like that. Now, the OWL is largely used or completely used in North America, whereas Salpods is used in every other English-speaking or non-English-speaking country in the world. There's no consensus really about which one's better, and it doesn't seem like we're going to merge into one dictionary anywhere in the near future. The Collins Dictionary actually has a lot more words than the OWL Dictionary, but since 95% of my viewers are in North America, I'm going to be focusing on the OWL, which is the same as TWL, the 2006 version, in my videos. Now, the TWL dictionary has over 175,000 words, and some people, like the recurring champion Nigel Richards, actually learned all of these words down pat by just taking the dictionary and reading it 5 times over. Now, most of us can't do that, and I implore you, do not even try to start reading the dictionary, because it will not work out for the rest of us. There are much better ways to study, and considering it's going to take you years to get through that dictionary, you want to be able to learn the most useful words first. Now it's at this time where I must introduce you to the other wonderful world of Ziziva, a program that most Scrabble experts use quite extensively. My recommendations for study order are seen here. The basic layout can be switched around according to preference, but the general order is widely followed by most players. What everyone will tell you is that if you don't have the 101 two-letter words down pat, you shouldn't play another game until you do. The exercise only takes 1 to 2 hours, and unlike most words, is best memorized through straight reading and rereading. Write the whole list down a few times, and after 4 or 5 attempts, you should have a really good base for knowing those 101 two-letter words. From a layman's vocabulary, just learning this one subset of words is enough to raise your average game score by about 50 points. Most notably is the Chinese-derived wonder word qi, Q-I. It's the most played word in Scrabble, and you should be able to see why. With over 1,000 three-letter words, the next step is much bigger. There's not an easy way to cut it down too much, but we can at least start by chiseling it down to 778. This is the 2 make 3's subset. Now, a 2 make 3 basically is derived from a valid 2-letter word plus a hook, or an extra letter on either end. This includes gun and do, since UN and DE are acceptable, yet excludes yip and ace, since YI, IP, AC, and CE are all unacceptable 2-letter words. Most 3-letter words on the board will result from hooking onto a 2-letter word, such as in parallel plays, instead of actually forming a 3-letter word as your main word. In the conventional staircase game, as seen here, there are 13 threes played vertically by the players, as well as 11 horizontal threes that are only formed from hooking onto existing 2-letter words on the board. Now, key is not the only word you can use to play off the Q while U is unavailable. There are all sorts of Q without U words, from cat to Mbakonga. In fact, for any given word length from 2 to 6 letters, a Q without U word is the most played word in each category, from key to cat to kadi to trank to kintar. There are only 42 words without a QU and 32 that don't have a U at all. It's a snap to memorize these right off, and you can maintain their knowledge by using some of the methods that I'll be talking about later in this video. I've never heard novices complain about a topic more than having too many vowels on your rack. Now, it makes sense because as consonants are generally the higher value tiles, novices generally go for that quick reward, play off their high point tiles, get a higher score, but what happens is they find their racks are inundated with vowels. Even experts run into a vowel overload quite often, as even after playing at bingo, drawing 6 or 7 vowels is not a rare occurrence. Vowel dumps are a special category of words that help you get rid of all of these vowels. Quantitatively, they are words that have a content of 70% or higher of vowels. For 3 or 4 letter words, they must contain 3 vowels, and for 5 letter words, they must contain 4 vowels to fit into this category. There is 1 3 plus 62 4s with 3 vowels. These are next on your chopping block. Being able to score big with high value tiles can be a big boost to your game, and using the JQXZ on premium tiles can actually score more than high probability bingos. Any 4s with at least one of these power tiles in it are important. Words like jiao are both a vowel dump and have a J in it. It's no wonder that jiao is the most played 4 that is not in the Q without U list. Nothing feels better than a bingo, and it's about time we learned some to get the ball rolling. But because there are over 24,000 7-letter words, a much more structured approach is necessary. A stem is a group of letters that acts as a base for a set of longer words. A 6-letter stem is a base and can have different letters added onto it to make a multitude of 7-letter words. The stem aldrin can make 7-letter words with the letters A, G, M, O, S, and U, as seen here. Consider the super rack of nastier. This yields 4 particular 6-letter stems with 3 vowels and consonants each: arsine, retina, tisane, and satire. We can see here the letters that each stem combines with. These stems are generally the first that people learn. A special way for learning stems will be discussed later on. Once we add the rest of the 3-letter words to our repertoire, and there's only 237 more, then we can take a break. Let's look at everything we've learned so far. Conveniently, everything that we've looked at is summed up on one sheet of paper. This one sheet of paper is known as the Cross Tables cheat sheet. The Cross Tables cheat sheet is extremely useful for everything we have covered so far. In fact, should you start to play in your local club, most of them will let you use this very cheat sheet as a crutch in your first few meetings. Like the last video, I'm also going to have to break this one up into 2 parts to keep it from getting a little bit too tedious. The link is right here to the next one.